Alright guys, this is the last video on shell basics. Okay, so we're going to look at some more examples. So we're just doing more of like play around in this last session. Alright, so the first one I want to show you how to copy some files, some specific format of file to a new directory. I believe we already know how to use the cp command. Okay, so I'm just using a bit of the wildcard stuff. So we want to copy only files that has .txt at the end. Okay, only that type of file. Want to copy them to the directory which we called our new directory. All right, so I think so. This is my git bash. Let me go to my Ubuntu. Okay, so we're in our home directory. Let me go to my working directory here. So we have some, I believe we have some txt files here. Let's list them. Okay, we have only 3 of them. So we want to move this file to a directory called the new directory, which is this new directory here. So first to that, I'm going to say cp asterisk dot txt files. So I want to copy this particular type of files. Okay, so I want to copy it inside this directory, which is our new directory. So that's all. So we can confirm if it's really there. So let me go to that directory. So that is new directory ls. You can see those files are copied there. All right, so let's go to our previous working directory, which I use this cd dash command. We talked about this in the first lecture. Don't forget to go to the previous working directory. All right, so let's another example. Okay, so this time around we are told to move a directory. So want to move a subdirectory actually. Okay, so moving a subdirectory which is dir1 and all files that are inside the parents directory that's end with .back in the current parent in the working directory's parent directory. Okay, to an existing directory named dir. Let me just explain what that part is saying. So let's take for example now, let me go to my home directory. If you notice in my home directory, okay, I don't have the files. Let me just quickly create some files and I'll name this extension for the file. So dot back, let me just create another one. So test 2 dot back, test 3 dot back. So I'm just creating some random files now. Okay, so we have these files in our home directory here. All right, so I want to cd dev.plus directory. So this is what is inside our dev.plus. So what we actually want to do is that I want to move my subdirectory. Now the subdirectory is this directory 1 here, which I've already created. So I want to move this subdirectory and also all the files that are inside this my home directory here, which is all these .back files. That's test.back, test2.back, and test3.back. If you were to notice, these back files are in the parents of my working directory. Remember, my working directory here is dev.plus, and the parent of dev.plus is the home directory. Okay, and the home directory has these files up. Okay, so instead of me going back up to then do another mv command, that's the move command, I can do everything at once inside this same dev.plus. So I want to move them inside another directory entirely. Okay, so maybe just let me just create that other directory where I want to move them to. So let me just say I want to move them to dir2, which is still within this working directory. So we have two directory. So what I'm going to say, I want to move directory 1, or let me know this direction since I have contents inside this new dir. So let me use this new dir. So I want to move new dir, and I also want to move the files that is in the home, that is in the parent directory of this working directory, and the parent working directory of this dev.plus is actually the home directory, and the home directory has these files there, the test.back, the test2. So for us to move that one along, we're going to say dot dot. Remember, dot dot is a way of taking it one step up to the parent. So dot dot forward slash, then what that means why, just imagine that we are in our home directory now, we're in the parent directory of dev dot plus. So now we're now specifying the type of file we want to move that are inside that parent directory. So all files that end with dot back. Okay, so where are we moving all of them to? We want to move them to dir2. So that means whatever that is inside is our new directory, and also what is inside the parent directory that ends with dot back. We're moving everything inside dir2. So if I click enter, so let's see for ourselves. If I do ls make, I shouldn't see new dir. I can see we didn't see that new directory, the new dir directory here anymore, because we have moved it to this dir2. So we're expected to see it inside this dir2. Also, let me check the parents directory. Let me check the files there. If dot back is still there, you can see dot back is no longer in our home directory here. So let's confirm if all those things are indeed moved inside here. So I'm going to say cd dir2, then I'll list it. So you can see everything are inside it there. So that is just how to play around this. Okay, let me just move this one page up. Let me leave it like this. Okay, so now I want us to do something. I want us to move everything back to where they are from this same position that we are in. I want us to move everything back to where they are. So if I'm to move this dot back files, I will say mv dot, asterisk dot back. So all files that has the dot back in this my directory, I want to move them to the home directory, and the home directory is the grandparent of dir2. Like for example, now the parent of dir2 is dev.plus, and the parent of dev++ is that my home directory, right? Which means I'm moving 2 steps up. Okay, that means that home directory is the grandparent of this dir2. So what I'll do, I'll say dot dot forward slash dot dot. So I'm moving first to the dev.plus, then after dev++, I'm still moving up again. Okay, so if I click enter, I'll move that stuff. Let me do ls. You can see we don't have those files here anymore. Okay, so I can also move this new dir back to dev.plus. So that is mv new dir dot dots. Okay, so this should take it to move it to the parent of our dir2, which is dev.plus. That's the parent. Okay, so let's see if I do ls. Okay, there's nothing there, so let's go back and test. So if I do ls here, you can see we have our new dir directories back to this place. So let's check for our parents, our home directory. If it's those back are still there, you can see those back are still there. So that's how to navigate without the stress of you going there one by one and be wasting time. So you can do certain things in a position without needing to go into that place first to go and do it from there. So more examples like this is like, let's do more examples. If you notice in our root directory, let us go to our root directory. In our root directory, we have these files. Okay, so now I want us to work with this tmp directory, or I can choose to create another directory of my choice for practice sake. Okay, but let's just use this tmp directory. So I want to be moving files. Instead of me going to do cd tmp and then do all those things I want to do inside the file, from wherever I am, I can choose to do it without needing to come here by myself, as in directly first. Those one can be time consuming. So let's just see how to go about that. Cd dot dots and go to the home directory. Okay, so cd dev.plus. Okay, so let me do one page. One page up. All right, so let's just play around. So let's assume I want to make a directory inside that tmp directory, that is now our root directory. So I want to create a directory inside there. So instead of me going to that place to go and do it myself, I can do it from this position that I'm in. So I'll just do my mkdir, which is the command for making a directory. Then where do I want to make that directory? I'll say I want to make a directory inside my root directory. Okay, inside the roots, and the directory inside the root is the tmp directory. So I want to create a new directory inside this tmp. And what is the name of that new directory? I want to name it dir1. So what this explains that it's starting from the roots. Remember, our roots is the /. So it's entering inside the tmp directory that is within the roots. Okay, remember tmp is the subdirectory of the roots. Okay, so we entered inside the tmp from here, and then we create the file dir1. So that's it. So if we go back to that tmp and check there, we are surely going to see this dir1. So let's just quickly do that just to be sure. cd tmp ls, you can see the file is there, the dir1 is there. So that's just how to play around with this. Okay, so we can also do some stuff like, let's do more. So let's move a file inside this directory that we created inside this tmp. So let's move it by. So let me assume that I want to move. Let me see the files that are inside here. Okay, let me just say I want to move all files that start with s and end with anything, but it just starts with s. So I want to move those files away from this dev.plus to the dir1. So I have to specify the directory of where that's the, I think, the relative directory of where this location of dir1 is. And where is it located? It's located in the roots. Then from the roots inside the directory tmp. Okay, so the tmp has the directory the dir1. All right, so that is how to move. So that means we are moving audio file that starts with s, that is within our dev.plus. We are moving all of them inside the dir1 directory. Okay, so if I click enter, we will go back there to confirm it. We are surely going to see it. All right, I just don't want to waste time to do that yet, but let's just quickly proceed. Or you know what, let's just quickly do that. cd dot dot cd dot dot cd dot dot cd tmp. Okay, cd dir1 ls. You can see, so we've confirmed it. So it's actually working as expected. So let's do one more. So let me assume I want to remove these files away from there now on purpose. Now I want to remove those files away. So I can remove it even from my home directory. I can just say rm, that's the remove. Okay, so what do I want to remove? So I want to remove file that is inside this our tmp dir1. So what is the file I want to remove? So I can just say, okay, I want to remove, let me say maybe one file, let me say sn. So I want to move this first file here, sn. So enter it. So if you go back and check, once you list the dir1, you surely won't see this sn, but you see the rest. So that's just the fact. So I'm not going to do that anymore. So another way we can play around, we can just say, okay, if I want to delete the whole of directory 1 that is inside the tmp. Okay, so for me to delete the whole of directory 1, that means it won't be in existence anymore. So and to delete a directory, it is rm-r, right? So I want to delete the directory that it's created inside the tmp directory that is in our roots. So I say dir1. So this will delete dir1 completely. And if you delete dir completely, it delete also all the files that I've already created, all these s files, right? So to remove everything at once, so I'm just remove them. So I've clicked enter. So we confirmed back to our temp, we should expect not to see anything in the TMP anymore. So ls, you can see nothing is coming out, so there's nothing there. We've already deleted it, that's why. So this is just a way of just playing around with all of this, so there's not much thing to really do or say. So that's just how to navigate using the wildcards. You can see how wildcards make things easier, okay, and how to be moving, navigating without going to that place directly, to be wasting time. You can do it at any position that you are working on. All right, so let's move on. What else? Remove asterisk this. Well, you know what this stuff is. Anyone that if you are using Emacs, I'm very sure you are familiar with this symbol that usually comes with Emacs files. In case you've not used Emacs or you don't like Emacs, let me show you what I'm saying. Those who knows Emacs know what I'm saying. Let me see. Yeah, I have any. Okay, let me just use this test dot back, for example. So if I Emacs test dot back, so to take me to the Emacs editor, let's assume I put some random content there. So I save and exit. So if I do ls again, you'll notice it usually comes with this stuff. So what this stuff is in Emacs is like a backup file. So in case we mistakenly delete this one, we can recover it with this one. You understand? So sometimes whenever I want to push some of your files to GitHub, it doesn't really make sense when we see things like this on GitHub. Probably is a mistake too, or you don't intentionally want to push it, but you just happen to come out here because you are using Emacs. Okay, so you can choose to just remove all those files at once, as when you are creating many files, and most of them comes along with this stuff. So to delete that, you just do your normal rm and put this stuff after it. So to remove all files that start with whatever names, but the major focus is that since any file that ends with this symbol will be removed. Okay, so that's what it means. If I do ls now, you can see we no longer have it here anymore. So that's just it about that. What else? List of files. I would have any. Okay, let me just quickly do something. Let me create a file in this our TMP because of this particular example we want to do. So for me to create that file, so I'm going to say touch. So touch, I want to create a file inside the TMP directory. I'm just say this is file 1. So there's a file there anyways. So okay, so let me look at the question again. So to list all files, so I want to list all files, even the ones that the name begins with a period. You know, those files that their name begins with a period are usually hidden. Let me show you what I'm saying. Let me go to my dev.plus ls. If you notice, there is no file here that starts with dots. So, but there are actually files that starts with dots. If I do ls-a, to show me the hidden files. So I've actually created this one on my own. Okay, it's not if it's automatically I created it myself. You can create hidden files yourself by adding first starting it with a period, then put the name of the file. Okay, so whatever name you want to use. But if you do ls, you won't see it. You only see when you do ls-a, then you'll see those hidden files. You can see we have the hidden file 1, the hidden file 2, the hidden file 3 here. All right. So the question is saying that we should list all files, even the ones that starts with period, which are normally hidden, that are in the current directory, and the parents of the working directory. Okay, so that means we want to list also the file that is in our parents directory, that is from the working directory. Okay, and I also want to list out files that is in our TMP. Okay, I want to list it in this particular order, and also it should the format should be in a long format also. This seems like a long axe, so let me just break down what it's saying here. So the command we're going to do is that since we want to list in a long format, usually it's going to be ls-l. Okay, so ls-l is the command for listing anything in a long format, right? So that's one step. Now, since we are listing files that are hidden, so I'm going to add a there. So remember, a option shows hidden files. All right, so ls dash la or al, anyhow you arrange it, it doesn't really matter. Okay, then space. So the next thing said, and the parents working directory. So we want to list the stuff that is in our parents working directory. So remember, we want to first list the one that is in our working directory first. Okay, so we want to list the file that's in our working directory first, in the current directory. So we're going to put one dot here, which means it's still in the main normal working directory that we're in. So now I want to also list the one that's in our parent directory. So for the parent working directory, we have to put two dots. Okay, so it will list the parent working directory of our working directory. Okay, so that's how I'll put that two dots. Then last, we want to also list files that is in our tmp. So we'll just say /tmp. Okay, and the file there, I just recently created that file there. I think I name it file1 also. So this is just the command we need to put in our terminal for it to run as we would want. Okay, so let me just quickly do that. So that's ls-la working directory. Want to list the parent directory also. Then want to list any file that is inside our tmp directory also. So we want to list this in a long format. So that's why it looks like this in a long format. So these are all the files, both in the parents working and hidden files. Okay, so in the long format, this long format looks so long, probably that's why we can't really see them well. Or let's repeat the same code, but let's not use long format. So let's see if we can easily see them in a single page. So ls-a dot tmp. Okay, so we can see them easily like this now. So these are the hidden files, and these are also the normal files that is now working directory in our dev.plus. So we're also listing the files that is in our home directory. Remember the files that are in our home directory, that was all these back files. So test back, test2 back, which is here. So these files are the ones that were in our home directory. Then I created a file in our tmp. So I can name it file. Was it file1? So I don't know, where is it? Anyways, it should be here. I've forgotten the name, but I know it should be here anyways. So that's just a way of listing multiple things. Okay, yeah, this is itself under here file1. So that's just, or they even labeled it tmp. So it's bringing out what is in our tmp. While this other place, you can see the dot here. The dot is trying to say this one are the list that is in our parent directories, both the hidden and the visible files in our parent directory. You can see the first one, it has only a single dot here, which is the working directory itself in our dev.plus. So these are everything in our dev.plus. So it is even arranged, the arrangement of this list is even well arranged in this format. So that's just it about that. Okay, so what's next? Let me erase this. Okay, so we have few last stuff to round up. Okay, so let me show you how to create a soft link. So this is just the format of creating a soft link. Okay, so you want to create a hard link, you will just remove this -s option. Okay, so that -s option, you have to remove it if you want to create a hard link, but for soft link you just put the option. Okay, so let's just do a quick one. So this time around I will need to use, I want to use git bash to do it. The reason I just want to use git bash to do is just so that you can visualize it in your laptop. Remember, Ubuntu is just like a virtual machine, so it's not as if we can really see the output of what we are navigating in our Windows PC. All right, so for us to really see stuff like that, we have to use the git bash. That's where git bash comes in. So let me just list what is in my desktop. Let me see the files there. Okay, I have a video which is named subscribe.mp4. Okay, so let me create a soft link for that. So if I want to create a soft link, I'm just going to say ln-s, then the name of the original file, which is subscribe.mp4. Then I can now create the soft link. Remember I say soft link is like a shortcut, so let me just name it something like shortcuts subscribe. Okay, by the way, let's okay, you can see we have the shortcut subscribe. So if you check your desktop, remember we are in our desktop here, so depends on where your Git bash is located. So it's located in my desktop here, so that's the directory I choose to use for this whenever I open the Git bash. So you should see this shortcut subscribe in your desktop screen. You can check it yourself, then open that file, open the shortcut subscribe. It should play whatever video that is inside this our original subscribe.mp4. so that's just it. So just double click it and select VLC to view the file, or any video player you have, it will still play the same video or as this subscribe. So that's just how to create a soft link. All right, so that's just it about that for us to particularize what soft link are. So lastly, to create the directories, this. So this one is just like creating subdirectories, something like that. So creating subdirectories at once. Remember, I think we've talked about this stuff in shell navigation in terms of how to create multiple directories. So we're just using the curly brackets. So but this time I want to create subdirectories. Okay, so let's just quickly do that. Okay, let me go back to my Ubuntu. Let me clear this to jump back. Okay, so let me create a directory, make directory. Let me name it test, or what name did I give it here? Okay, test dir. So test dir. So I'm making this directory, all right, inside my working directory. So that means this test dir will be in this my dev.plus list. It will be created here. Now inside this test dir, I want it to have another directory again inside. So I'm going to say test dir. Then I will put the name of the directory that I want extra one that should be inside the test directory. That's the test dir. So I'm just name it sub dir, like subdirectory, okay, of test dir, something like that. Okay, so I can create another subdirectory again inside my sub dir. All right, so I'm going to say test dir sub dir, then I'll create the extract sub directory again. So I can just name this one maybe sub dir. Okay, so whatever name you want to give it, just give it the name, then put your closing brackets, enter. So let's check it. You can see ls, you can see we have a test directory here. So if I say cd test dir ls, you can see we have a subdirectory there. So if I say cd sub dir ls, you can see we have the sub directory. So that's just how to create many subdirectory in a single line command like this. So instead of us going there one by one, I'll be doing mkdir 100 times, go back to the next page, do another mkdir, so it will look like stress in a way. So you can, this is like another shortcut of doing all of that. Okay, so I think this is the last part of our video as regards to shell basics. So I hope you understand this. If you don't understand this, just try to replay it and you surely get it. All right, also it's always so good to practice. So practice what you are watching, use your fingers and play around it with your keyboard. That's how to learn. And don't forget to always have a jotter, so jot some things down, very very important. So I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoy this shell basics. Okay, don't forget to share these videos with your friends, very very important. All right, have a lovely day. Bye.